Okay, everyone, I feel really stupid now because earlier I talked about the news with Athena, the statue of Athena being moved to or being recreated and put at the headquarters, the United Nations headquarters in New York. But I did not really think about the full implications of all that. Um, I guess what happens is I get jaded. You know, you see so many things, and then you just sort of say, what else is new, right? But um, knowing that Athena is a goddess of wisdom and reason, logic, and all of that, I understood all that, but I did not think about the war aspect. So, given the things that happened lately with uh, Trump declaring Jerusalem to be the capital of Israel, and the turmoil, my tongue is twisted right now. The turmoil, yeah, the turmoil that is coming out of that. Could that move, um, the placing of this statue at the United Nations, be an indication that they have war on the horizon? Uh, I just, uh, I just realized that whore rising, the whore rising. Um, is this an indication that they could be planning war? Um, and like I said, I didn't think about it before. Before it didn't occur to me because I know about the. Because to me, I'm like, okay, so what? Another pagan statue. You know, pagan. They're putting these things everywhere. You know, they've been around. I think this is in Austria, right? You have the statue of Athena in Austria, and we have Libertas, which is just another form of Athena, Sophia, Wisdom, Isis, Columbia. Um, she's on top of the Capitol Dome. Nobody ever questions that. She's on the front of the Capitol building. Uh, um, so I get kind of jaded. I'm like, well, I know I see these statues everywhere. They're all over the place. Nobody pays attention to them. But maybe this is more significant than I thought. Could Athena, be a goddess of war, be an indication of something that they have planned, especially in light of what's going on in the Middle East right now? That's just something to think about. So before I end this video, as I was planning to do, something else just came to my mind. I am reminded of an older video that I made, probably about, I'll say almost 2 years ago, probably longer than that. And it was one of the first videos. No, it was about 2 years ago. One of the first videos that I made after doing my research on the Jezebel spirit and finding out that this mother goddess is called Lucifer. Finding out about all of that, I had I put together a video with the letters from Albert Pike about the 3 world wars. Now I know that the letters have been disputed. Some people say it's a hoax, whatever, but I put this little video together, and I think I'm going to dig it up out of the old archives, and since it wasn't narrated, it was just words, I'm going to include it in this video and narrate it as you watch the video. But since this video also that I'm making now is going to replace the last video that I made on the subject of this statue of Athena going up at the UN, let me briefly reiterate a point that I made earlier about the idolatry that has already existed in America. Here's another shot of that temple in Nashville, one that was modeled after the Parthenon in Greece, Athens, Greece. Athens named after Athena, and you have that, or there exists that massive statue of Athena. There's a one with a person for perspective there, holding Nike or Victoria, the goddess of victory, in the right hand, and the serpent behind the shield on the left. And so I showed this image earlier as an example too of how our states have the goddess of liberty or reason or wisdom be placed in our national symbols. This is her again. Columbia is the one that they call the Spirit of America. It's not the God of the Old Testament. It's this, and if you will notice, this is nothing but Athena under a different name. You see her with the spear and the shield, just like we saw with the image of Athena. So Columbia is nothing but Athena under a different name. And Britannia is under the same spell. The whore is there too. The shield, the spear. And you'll also find that in... I realized that it would just be easier just to show you a slideshow of all of these examples. Once again, you have the celestial virgin with the sword or the spear or the shield or whatever, and this one happens to be holding what they call the little sprig or the branch for regeneration, for rebirth. And so this one would be German. The next one I want to show you is this one, Italian. I believe that's Italian. Yeah, and that one, I forgot her name. And then this one also is Italian. The same thing. She's holding the branch for regeneration. And the flag, of course, the flagpole is doubles as the spear. And this one is Italian again. I forgot her name. Not Mariana. Marianne, that's the French one, but it's close. And I never did figure out which country this one was from. Whoever recognizes that flag, yeah, that's where she's from. And this one, Swedish, I believe. I could be mistaken. I think that's Sweden. This one, can't quite. I think that's Sweden as well because of the 3 crowns there. Couldn't quite remember, but yeah, she's on the money. And that's another thing that I would like to tell people about, the word money. Maybe I'll say that for another day, but no, I'll tell you now. Money, the word money comes from moon, like as in Monday, and the people like Robert Seffer and GTA Soul, on both of them on YouTube, have already done videos on this subject. I thought about sharing it, but money comes from, the origin of money comes from Babylon, and the purpose of it was to pay for the temple prostitutes. They were paying in food, they were paying in things like wheat and all these other perishable things. Well, after a while, that wasn't working out so well. So, as a better means for paying for these sacred whores, these holy harlots, at the temple of the goddess, they came up with money. So, we get our word money from, not just a word, but money period, from temple prostitution. That's where our money comes from. Alright, here's that video that I made some years ago called The Plan for World War III, and the source is from biblebelievers.org.au Pike HTML. World War III is to be fomented by using the differences of the agentur of the Illuminati to stir up political Zionists and the leaders of the Muslim world. This war is to be directed in such a manner that Islam, the Arab world, including Mohammedanism, and political Zionism, including the State of Israel, will destroy themselves while at the same time remaining nations, once more divided against each other on this issue, would be forced to fight themselves into a state of complete exhaustion, physically, mentally, spiritually, and economically. Can any unbiased and reasoning person deny that the intrigue now going on in the near Middle East and Far East is designed to accomplish this devilish purpose? After World War III has ended, those who aspire to undisputed world domination will provoke the greatest social cataclysm the world has ever known. We quote in his own written words taken from the letter catalogued in the British Museum Library, London, England. We shall unleash the nihilists and atheists. We shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm, which in all its horror will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin of savagery, and the most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere the citizens obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries will exterminate those destroyers of civilization, and the multitude disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will be from that moment without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal, but without knowing where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out in the public view. A manifestation which will result from the general reactionary movement which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. William Guy Carr. And okay, that's enough of that. So I repeat, that anxious for an ideal, but without knowing where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer. The universal manifestation of the pure doctrine. Now what might that be? Pantheism maybe? Or God is in everything and God is in us. We all have a piece of the divine in us. And I know that the Virgin Mary will play a huge part in this. So since I brought up Mary, I'm going to read to you from the book called Queen of Rome, Queen of Islam, Queen of All. There's just one part in here that I just want to share right now. And it is on page 40. Mary's message to the world can be found at New Age bookstores. It may represent one of the bridges between the Catholic Mary and the Mary who espouses New Age Eastern thinking. Here are a few of Mary's messages to the world. Once more, her message is to unite. And this is the quote from Mary, who they claim is Mary. Each religion is worshipping underneath the outer trappings its creator. It's the same creator, whether you pray facing the east or facing an altar, on a Saturday or on Sunday. It is all worship. Allow us to view the world as a whole, and each nation, each religion as part of this great whole. Be tolerant one of the other. All religions are man-made, inspired by the Creator. All words which have been written in the holy books have been written by men in unity with the Creator. It is imperative that the world join together at this time to pray to God. Pray for peace on earth and among men. I seek to embrace all people with my love. I wish to encircle all people on earth in a safety net which will save your souls. It is only as a whole unit that mankind can advance. Soon a giant leap forward will occur. And I'm sorry, I guess I should go back on that promise I made. There's just one little One more thing that I want to read from this book on page 66 and page 67. The following bishop-approved apparitional message explains the Queen of Heaven's commands and promises to those who will consecrate their lives to her. And this is the quote from her. Let there be no leader among you. I myself will be your leader. You must all be brothers, loving, understanding, and helping each other. The only thing that matters is that you let yourself be formed by me. For this it is necessary that each of you offer himself and consecrate himself to my immaculate heart and entrust himself completely to me, just as Jesus entrusted himself totally to me. And then I will take care of everything. To everyone who consecrates himself to me, I again promise salvation, safety from error in this world, and eternal salvation. So that was the word from, that was the message from Mary. And of course, we all know who read the Bible. We know that is completely wrong. But this is the deception that's going to come upon the world, I believe. And I believe this will be that pure doctrine of Lucifer. So the final thing that I want to share is a clip from the same video from the 3 World Wars. This video just happens to feature Athena as well. It's a clip from a video game, and if you have ears to hear, I think it is very interesting. This character called Kratos is playing, in my opinion, the Antichrist.
Done well, Kratos. Freed from the bondage of Olympus and cleansed in chaos, mankind is now ready to hear my message.
Look around you, Athena. The world stands in ruin. What good is your message?
Go if you must. But first, I insist you give me the power from inside the box.
The box was empty.
That can't be true. I can see it in your eyes. You used my power to kill Zeus. You still have it as we speak. Freed from the bondage of Olympus and cleansed in chaos, mankind is now ready to hear my message. Mankind is now ready to hear my message.